I know the revival drive can be intimidating, but it's a great addition to a Strymon Iridium. Let me show you how. Right now we have the Strymon Iridium on the round channel, which is their Fender Deluxe, or really just like a Fender homage style. And let's go for a Tweed Bassman sound. Right now I'm going through a York Audio Bassman 4x10 IR. What you should do first is model Iridium EQ. When you push the mids, it makes it more tweedy. The highs more, because... Great. Let's leave the gain where it is for now, and I'll show you why. Now let's pull up the Tweed setting that they had. They have a Tweed Twin setting, and we can start there, and then we'll modify it, okay? Let's see what that sounds like. That sounds good. It's probably too much gain for what a Bassman would have, right? So let's turn back the volume, and let's actually pull the blend back. Okay, so right now we're blending in dry signal, okay? We probably want some more high end. Let's bump that high shelf. Pull down the output. I don't want to be driving too hard into the Iridium, otherwise it'll compress and kind of that sounded closer to a Bassman. I'll blend at 50% and see if that changes anything. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty close. So this is what we had before. This is just the Iridium. This is with the revival drive in front. Yeah. It's an humbucker. Try another one. Let's see if we can get a Marshall sound. First, let's find a Marshall IR to work with. York IR M25 is always a good one. Check that. Run the punch setting, so that's right. Treble. And this is where a Plexi would max out, right? Nice. Okay. Now let's pull up the JTM setting that they had. And let's keep it on EQ1. So the way the EQs work, EQ1 is usually for Fender amps, EQ2 is for Marshalls. But I'll show you why that doesn't actually work that well. So this is before. The revival drive engaged. Okay. So you can hear that compression happening, right? And that's probably what a lot of you have run into. And this is how you can fix that. Let's pull the gain back on the Iridium first. The Iridium has a JFET input, right? So it has an analog input. And so when you're driving the signal into it, it's actually interpreting that gain and then, you know, telling the chip inside, hey, like give it more gain. Hope you understand what I'm trying to say, but pulling back the gain on a revival drive helps this too. Okay, other things we need to do here. Let's boost the mids. Let's take bass all the way down. Let's take these lows away too. Actually pull back the gain more. Okay, so we handled that compression. Can you tell the difference there? There's not that mid squashed in a bad way squashed. That's actually all right too. Without. So it's a very clean sound, right? Let me show you why EQ2 sometimes is harder to work with. So you have not as much bass that's crushing you, right? Which is what the problem was. But now it's crushing the mids, right? I feel like EQ-wise, a lot harder to work with. So you may like that though. But you can hear that big difference. If you're feeling like it's not enough punch in the low end. EQ1 where it's at, but EQ2 can work too. Cutting in real quick because I realized I actually shot and recorded this one part wrong. We're going for a Fender Blackface style amp here. So first we're starting off with this Strymon setting, and we're using a York Audio Fender Twin IR. IR10. So nice, we got the mids almost all the way down when we add this Blackface setting. Wonderful, right? Now let's try blending just a little bit. That was almost full, and now we have it at 50%. Let's kind of get a Fender Brownface sound. So we're going to use a Vibrolux 2x10 IR. It's kind of hard to model them, so let's give them a neutral setting on the Iridium, and then we'll do the rest in the Revival Drive. That's a pretty flat setting, pretty good setting, a good starting point. Let's add some harmonic tremolo. Memory card died and all sorts of fun stuff happened. Now, one thing I did here is I have the gain really low on the Iridium, okay? So, listen. I mean, that's like a very flat response, right? And I'm on a single coil. Like when you have a preset or you have a setting on the Revival Drive, I mean, it's adding a lot of high end. Listen, all your high end's there, all the clarity's there. So you don't need to worry about a lot of the character of the Iridium here, but you do need the Iridium to kind of help with the shaping. If you watch my other video where I'm using the Revival Drive on its own, there are limitations to the tone shaping on the Revival Drive if you run it as just the preamp by itself, which is why throwing it in front of an Iridium or in front of a Dream or whatever your modeling software is, or in front of an amp, you have that additional tone shaping abilities, right? It's almost like the best of both worlds. You get the actual analog models, analog stages, like the preamp, the push, pull, the output, the sag, the rectifier. You have all that in a pedal, and then you have digital EQ and some light gain modeling from the Iridium, and then you can pick your IR that you want. Now, one thing I really want to do is get the Fryette power station. Revival Drive into the Fryette power station, which is an attenuator and a reamper. And do that into, obviously, some kind of speaker cab here, but also do that into like an aux box. So really have this like insane pedal solution. I mean, that's like a $3,000 solution. That's like, that's like so much money for something that's so specific and niche. But maybe I'll do it one day. And maybe if I get any kind of sponsorship, that would be the first thing I'd like to do. It is an intimidating pedal. It's got knobs, it's got switches, so I understand why a lot of people are hesitant to buy it. They're like, we'll just get the Revival Drive Compact. It's only one side, and there's less switches, less knobs, less tooling around. But if you want a really interesting, beautiful sounding pedal, the Revival Drive just offers so much versatility. Let's say you don't like any of these presets and you don't know what to do. I'm gonna walk you through how to get like a great, quick preset, okay? 1, what kind of amp do you wanna model? An AC30, a Fender, a Marshall, a Brownface, a Tweed. Figure that out first, because that's what you should set your modeler to. Or just set it very flat like this. Round channel, very Very plain setting, okay? Now, next thing, you're going to choose between these two sides. Do you want the valve rectifier side, it's more compression, or do you want the silicon side, which is less compression? Let's go silicon, okay? Now choose gain. Let's put gain right in the middle, okay? And then after gain, choose presence knob. In the middle is like a Marshall. All the way here is like an AC30. All the way here is like a Fender Brownface and like a JTM. Let's put it right about here. Low, the more flubby it is, and like the more raucous it is. So let's put it high. Ghost notes are next. You want a lot of ghost notes, it makes it sound really like there's like a lot of like vintage character to it. Now pick the preamp. Let's make it a US preamp, which is more of a Fender style. If you wanted to, you could put it in the middle, it's flat, or there. It's a more Marshall style. No bright cap. Let's leave everything else as it is. No boost ear either. Let's see what that sounds like. This is the Iridium alone. Nice. Yeah. But let's say that's not enough gain for you. Let's put it to the Great Britain side. And right now we're on a Vibrolux, so let's change that. One more final tone change. A Fender Bassman. It's kind of like a JTM now. Bump the presence up then. Yes, dude. As you can see, like, if you follow that guide, it's quite simple, but you have to break it down to a process. You can't just be twiddling knobs. This isn't a tube screamer, right? This isn't a one knob pedal. Take 10 seconds to think about what are you going for? What are you shooting for? What do you want to sound like? And the pedal will reward you, right? It rewards intention and rewards thinking and tinkering. And if you're that kind of guy, I'm that kind of guy. I love tinkering, love to like, you know, and a little, right? I love the knobs. Love to turn these little things. Love to hear the little click. Love to feel the resistance when I'm turning. Boy, that was a long video, but if you're still yearning for more Origin Effects videos, here's a playlist of all the videos I've ever done with any Origin Effects pedals that I own, but more to come. Thanks.